For that live report, long-standing leaking roof and water damage at East Longmeadow High School has been something that we've followed for several years. Now the town's finally making progress towards building a new campus. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lockery joining us live in studio with the latest on that. Reagan.
Chris, the designs for the new building have been submitted to the Massachusetts School Building Authority, and the East Longmeadow School Committee met last night to discuss how the project is going so far.
Back in 2019, our Western Mass News cameras captured video inside East Longmeadow High School. You can see the leaking roof and falling ceiling tiles. These issues have continued to plague the school for years, but now something is finally being done. At Tuesday night's meeting, the school committee presented new, more specific renderings and drawings of the proposed designs for the brand new East Longmeadow High School campus, allowing the town to get a better idea of what the school will look like when complete, including a first look at the new sports fields, cafeteria, media center, and they even got a sense of what classrooms could look like. As of right now, parking will stay in the same area, but they plan to flip-flop where cars and buses enter.
That loop down towards the bottom here of the building would be where buses right now we think are going to be going.
Back in May, at their last public forum, the school committee gave a breakdown of where they thought they were budget-wise. A few months back, they were looking at about a $177 million budget. And now, flash forward to September, their overall budget stands at around $175 million. And they're on track to get a much higher reimbursement from the Massachusetts School Building Authority. Originally, they thought the town share would fall between $120 to $122 million. But now that their MSBA grant is expected to go up significantly, the town share will be reduced by millions of dollars to just over $114 million.
That was one of the most exciting new elements that came out of the work that's been done in August.
And now it's in the hands of the town council to appropriate the funding. However, with a better sense of their budget, the committee can start planning on what materials should be used to build the new school and prevent future leaking roofs and crumbling tiles.
Now the school committee will be holding open houses throughout the fall to show the renderings to the community and pass out pamphlets to help break down the budget, along with a community forum at the high school on September 21st and again in October. Reporting live in studio, Reagan Lockery for Western Mass News.